Well, we're the Westbrook Saxophone Quartet, which is the top saxophone quartet at UNL. So it just comprised of the same people throughout 2 semesters. And we have a great time playing together, a wide variety of music that we get to choose some of. And Dr. Har also chooses some of our music. And then we get an opportunity to rehearse on our own and with Dr. Har twice a week. Dr. Har is our fearless leader. He's our guiding light for everything that we do. I think all of us chose to come to UNL largely because Dr. Har was here, because we wanted to study saxophone with Dr. Har to really kind of find our own individual voices on saxophone. And I think that's kind of the most valuable thing we get out of our experience at UNL and in the School of Music is our own private lessons with Dr. Har, and just being able to have the freedom to explore the type of music that we want to play, and also to be challenged a lot.
A lot of the stuff with quartet is music that I would not get a chance to play otherwise. There are a lot of opportunities at UNL to play different kinds of music, but specifically small chamber music for saxophonists. You have a wide variety of things available for you to play.
Yeah, as a chamber group, since we're saxophonists, we don't fit into other chamber ensembles all that often, so it's really nice to have that chamber experience as a saxophonist at UNL.
What mainly interested me is I did Winter Winds when I was, I think, a senior in high school. And we did this, I guess it was a saxophone octet, and it was the first time I'd ever played in chamber. And as soon as I started playing in that kind of music, I knew I wanted to do more of it. And so when they held auditions my freshman year for saxophone quartets, I immediately auditioned because I was just so excited to play that kind of music. Before I transferred here, I didn't really have a lot of experience playing the tenor saxophone. So combined with experience in the wind ensemble, I get a lot more opportunities to work on my tenor playing outside of lessons with Dr. Har, learning alongside other people.
I think that playing in a saxophone quartet is the most valuable thing that we do as saxophone players. We all play a lot individually, and we also all play a lot in large ensembles. So when we have the opportunity to play in a small chamber group with our own instrument family, I think it's the most valuable thing actually that goes into the development of our saxophone playing, learning how to play with our own family of instruments.
I started taking lessons with Dr. Har when I was in 8th grade. And so I've been playing with him for a long time, but I started out on classical, and then he kind of exposed me to the world of jazz, and I realized I wanted to play in it. So I started to do both classical and jazz saxophone with Dr. Har, and he has been probably one of the most valuable resources, not only in like my professional career, but also just in like my, just my entire life. I've kind of had him as a role model to look up to and say, oh, this thing that he's doing actually does work and it gets you somewhere. I was a transfer student here. I transferred in my 2nd year of college, and Dr. Har was the main reason I chose UNL. The experiences that I've had here at UNL with Dr. Har have been entirely transformative, both in lessons and our quartet. He was really good at picking out what you're good at and what you're not so good at, and encouraging you to work on what you're not so good at. It's like when I got here, I was really struggling with my playing in a number of different ways, and he has helped me come a long way. So I'm very grateful for that.
A faculty member that's helped a lot is Dr. Barbara in the wind ensemble. She runs a very experimental kind of setup in the wind ensemble. Following what she does and participating in that for so long in the wind ensemble has helped me a lot as a musician and gain those musicianship skills that she wants us to gain in the wind ensemble setup she does.
The performance lab that she does, it gives you a lot of, I know I've said this a lot, but it gives you a lot of opportunities to do things you wouldn't otherwise do. In doing so, there is something to be said about the growth that you can have as a musician in her ensemble, especially when it comes to playing with, as a group.
Music in its nature is just so collaborative, and having those experiences offered to us with ensembles, with something like a saxophone quartet, just lets you get closer to people. And that's such an important thing, especially in college where you can feel a little isolated. But since you're kind of pushed into these circumstances by just being in the School of Music and needing to play with others and understand them, I think it's really helpful to help us grow as our relationships and everything.
It always seems like no matter what, who you meet and who you know, it's always we end up helping each other in some way in the future. And it's nice to have that sense of community with everybody.